Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Yale number 1765 recessed cylinder collar. The 1765 is the typical and common recessed collar that you're going to find in a variety of applications. There is the 599, and I stared at and by the way, there's a link below this video to the cut sheet. I stared at the two of those for about an hour before I gave in and called Yale and asked for the difference. If you look in the upper right-hand corner, the 1765 has a square profile, whereas the 599 is a radiused profile. That's going to work in different applications. Also, what I have found with the 599 is they actually don't offer it in all of the available lengths that was at one time referred to. The 599 is going to be something that you're going to see with exit device applications. Scrolling through the catalog to see where else it falls into place. Exit device applications. Exit device trim are going to take that radiused turnaround on the back, and it must have something to do with the way that the trim is actually manufactured, would be my guess. If it's cast, they might not be getting incredibly tight inside corners, so to speak. I'm kind of guessing as to why the 599 is used, but that would be my guess as to why it's used. So the 1765, and that link below this video to the technical drawing or the cut sheet. Bear with me a moment as I pull it up. You'll take note that the thicknesses range from, on the A dimension, from a 1/16 all the way to 1 in 15/32. And I can tell you that I've ordered them long. I've ordered them very recently in 3/4 inch length. I know that I've ordered it longer than that, about 1 inch and a 1/16 as well. The longer, the 3/4 length, so where you're going to use this, where you need to fill a space from the underside of the head of the cylinder to the face of whatever you're installing it to. The 10 pieces that I needed that were 3/4 inch A dimension length were for an application where we had 3-inch thick doors, and the manufacturer of the cylinder, not Yale, could not make an 1.5 inch length cylinder. They couldn't make it. They could make it 1 inch 3/8, but couldn't make it 1.5 inch, which is what we needed. So we ordered 2 1/4 inch long cylinders and then ordered 3/4 inch cylinder collars because the cylinder, the large format, or in this case full-size interchangeable core housing, required compatibility with a particular format. Because that is the keying system on the property, so to speak. This installation required it. So we were able to easily solve the problem with longer cylinder collars. An expensive way to solve it. And I think moving forward, I would have just custom manufactured a bushing underneath the tailpiece to kick it out so that it will operate in the lock, which may have worked. I'd need to study that. So what is the A dimension? The A dimension is from the shoulder here at the tip of my fingernail, okay, all the way to the back side. This one is 0.344, 11/32. 0.344 is what we ordered, or what was specified by the client. And if I take my caliper and put this down onto a semi-solid surface, you know, it's a little heavy. Obviously, my caliper is probably, you know, I kind of rock that back and forth. So yeah, there you go. Let's take some other dimensions. So the overall, which they don't give you, this is 0.405. 0.405 minus 0.344. That means that shoulder is going to be a 1/16 of an inch. So 61. So that's going to be a 1/16. That can't be right. No, that can't be right. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, it's 0.505. It's 0.505, which means it's 0.161, almost 3/16. Almost 3/16. Outside diameter of this cylinder collar, 1.488. 1.488. Inside dimension of this cylinder collar, 1.186. 1.186 inside dimension. Another interesting place where I've used this, and I don't have, actually I do have one. Yeah, I have a 1765 here in a 1-inch dimension. You know, it's the same gizmo, just longer. And where I use this is when I want to, believe it or not, take a Seagull, a rim-mounted deadbolt, and Yale makes them as well, but we're using Seagull as the example because that's what I've recently done, and made a double cylinder. I've not investigated whether or not I could do this on a Yale rim lock. I am sure that I could, but I'd have to look at the lock. Where I've wanted to take a keyway other than a Seagull keyway and make that work on this client's lock. So this client had existing Baldwin hardware. Very high quality residential, commercial as well, but you'll see it residential mostly. Exterior door hardware on their living space. Client had an old Seagull, likely from the 1950s, 1930s, 1980s, who knows. Really wanted to have one key. I mean, really wanted to have one key. Baldwin offers locks in a C keyway, Schlage C, and a Schlage E, and I even think a Schlage F. For sure, C and E, I just forget about F. I believe they do. But not in a Seagull keyway. And the client wanted to keep the original Baldwin very large bow key blanks. Why wouldn't they? It's a very handsome key blank. And really wanted to keep the Seagull on the door at the same time. So I was able to, through a process of a custom collar, welding, grinding, attaching a modified mortise cylinder, drilling and tapping to the inside housing of the Seagull lock to make a Schlage C keyway work on that. Because Seagull has in their product catalog the availability of a C keyway. They had stopped making it. But the point is with a custom cylinder collar, depending on the length of the cylinder, maybe they're doing a large format interchangeable core, all I need is a cylinder collar, because I'm going to take that mortise cylinder, modify my tailpiece to work in such a way that the Seagull lock body requires, and then just order my cylinder collar to fit all that room in, take the back of the mortise cylinder, drill and tap the 2 holes that are already in the back of the casting of the Seagull lock, secure it, and it's gold. It works perfectly. The availability, the willingness of Yale to make these custom cylinder collars is great. There's also on that page, or there ought to be, a link or a reference to their KP3 wave washer. You're going to want that wave washer, and it's a spring, really, is what it is, so that it will go underneath the head of the cylinder and will allow you to, I'm attempting to pull it up, thread that cylinder down, and as the wave washer, and it's shaped like a wave around the circumference, is compressed, it will of course force the collar to be tight against the face of whatever, the lock, the door, etc. And also allow your cylinder head to be secure in the ring. The ring is tight to the face of the door. As you tighten it down and draw that cylinder head down within the space of the cylinder collar, and this cylinder collar's job is to get that head inside of that near 3/16 of an inch area, so that in a pipe wrench attack, I have nothing to get the wrench, the head of the wrench onto. I want that cylinder inside of there. I don't want to be able to get to it. If someone got a wrench on the outside of here, okay, I prefer please don't do that, but it'll just spin is all it's going to do. And that wave washer allows this to be tight on the face of the door. So, typical item, I would suggest there will be a link below this video to that KP3 wave washer. that you can purchase as well. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Yale products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. This is in the 630 finish. They don't list stainless as a base material, but they do for their 1766. Magnet's not going to help me here. And the fact of the matter is that it has absolutely no draw on that magnet tells me that it is indeed made of brass with a satin chrome or satin nickel type finish. Stainless, when it's machined, does have a minor amount of magnetism that you can actually detect when you place a magnet to it. So I'm thinking that when we asked for 630 finish, which is satin stainless steel over solid stainless steel, that what they converted it to was 626 would be my guess. I have the package right here. They do not indicate on that factory label what the base material is. So I'm going to go with 626. No harm, no foul. Any questions on the 1765 recessed cylinder collar or any other Yale product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.